new ideas and efficient tools for a happier, more connected life.
I need to get more social media accounts so I can broadcast to more people, so I get more feedback of how okay I am. But that I'm still not addressing the problem, and I'm medicating to make them go away for a little bit. But whatever it is I'm using to medicate isn't there, I'm not okay. And for me in my life, I want the okayness to be something that I have by default, or something that I can get back on my own. Because if you're relying on other people, well, then you're reliant on other people. You are not independent. You are codependent. You are dependent on other people to make you okay. And for me, that's not okay. For other people, they choose to do that, and I did for most of my life. But I've made a choice that I'm going to be the one that decides if I'm okay or not. And for me, that's empowering. For me, when I was younger, that was terrifying. So if you want to follow along at home and do a little exercise, what you might do is write down or jot down or just think about whatever works best for you. What do you use to cope with stress? What is it? And just be totally honest about how you get by when something big and unexpected and stressful happens. Or what about the little nagging constant daily stresses? Maybe you have different responses depending on what it is. But when you get stressed out, what is it you do? And there's no wrong answer, there's no judgment. Doesn't mean that you're wrong for doing those things. Sometimes I have a drama where clearly I've done all this personal work, so I don't get stressed anymore. And that's when it blindsides me, and then I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning playing Candy Crush. And I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? I'm missing sleep and missing out on relationships, and then I'm laggy at work and sluggish, and my brain isn't firing well, and then all the stress is harder. There's also little things we do, and we're humans, and most of us have not been taught, unless we had some sort of really rock solid mentor that gave us some tools. Most of us haven't been taught this. It's not something you take in school. It's not like you have math and then stress relief and then science and then problem solving skills.
Right.
It's not in our normal curriculum. So if you have something big, and maybe it's huge, maybe you have a major addiction, or maybe you have an extremely self-destructive behavior, or maybe it's just something little minor thing that, well, I'm snippy at my coworkers, or I nag my kids.
As you're talking about stress and what it does to your life when you realize that you're under it, what is it that's going on? Mine in the last 2 weeks is I'm missing an appointment. That's an indicator that there's something going on that I'm not aware of.
And that's actually, for me, my addictive, compulsive behaviors trigger when I do my avoidant video gamey things. For me now, that's an indicator exactly of that, of surface level stress I'm usually pretty good dealing with now, and we'll talk about some of the stuff we do to actually resolve the stress rather than just revolve around it.
Exactly.
But sometimes I'm not aware of it. Sometimes it's under the surface, or it's something I haven't acknowledged yet, or just so big I know it's there, but I don't know what to do about it. But for me, when I get drawn into those compulsive behaviors, because they're not habitual, they're not automatic, they aren't all the time, when I do get drawn to one, it's a signpost going, look here, underneath, there's something going on.
Yeah.
And once I can draw out of it, I go, man, I'm really, really wanting to play a video game right now. I don't care what, I don't care if I like it or not. Then I go, why? What is it I'm so stressed out about that's causing that?
And then how do you deal with it? If you do have something going on, if you did write something down that is not working for you, and it's not in your best interest or your family's best interest, then what do you do about it? And that's some of the things we're going to be talking about here in just a little bit. What do you do with stress? How do you get to a different response? And quite simply, one of the things I used to do, I used to not have an anger problem, I would have a rage problem. If I dropped something or spilled something, I would go right into a rage about how stupid I am, or how clumsy I am, or what an idiot I am, usually with many explicatives as I got older, which I could hide and I could cover it up and I could keep it at bay until I started having kids. And then I didn't want that behavior anymore. And I worked really hard. Mark helped me quite a bit, seeing into myself on how to pull those pins. And over the course of a few years, now when I drop something or spill something, I get to laugh.
Thank you for watching our video.
If you like the video, please subscribe.
Please like.
Please leave a comment below.